What's up, everybody? Welcome to another video in the Ideal Auto Factory. Today, I'm going to be talking about just one little effective way to get some more weight shift out of your vehicle if you want it to be so. Keep God first. Let's get into the video. All right, everyone. So here is my dedicated camera car, and it has dampers up front, dampers in the rear. You know, every car has that. And then a high battery. That's what usually happens with these weight shift vehicles. But if you look in the front, I have shocks really narrow or closer to the center, and the shocks in the back are further away from the center. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you what it does without doing anything right now, and then come back. As you can see, the car is very planted. Only the front end lifts up. The car is very low to the ground. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to raise the suspension in the rear. The only way to do that is with the preload adjuster on the shocks here. So I'm going to do that for both the front and the rear just to see what happens. So I'm high off the ground now, which means it should want to lean a little more. But on the front now, as you can see, the car is leaning towards that front end. So I'm going to lift the front end just as much. 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. But in the front, see, it wants to just lift up the whole time. So I have to be very precise with how I go about it. So now that we have more height in the rear, let's see what it does. So it's easy to drive, that's for sure. But it's still. So you see, with a little more ride height, it doesn't do much. It does smooth out the car a little bit from my driving aspect, I should say. But it did not allow the car to start leaning to the left and leaning to the right. So what I'm going to do now is a little more, it takes a little more work, but we're going to make it work. It's a ZX. This transmission is so far back. And then you got the shock tower in front here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the this whole system here, I guess you could say, and I'm going to bring my dampers up front and then therefore have a lot more space so I can bring them towards the center because the spur gear is in my way. Normally spur gear is in the front of the shock tower, therefore the shock tower is behind and the dampers can go as far in as possible. But I want them dampers to be a lot closer like the front is. See? Yeah? Yeah? Yeah, you're catching what I'm saying? It's so far out there because so it's counteracting the ability to lean to each side. Okay, so right now I'm about to cut a very important part that's in my way. And then you see me showing the position of my camber link. Right now, I'm getting my spacers ready to move that shock tower forward. As you can see, my camber links are disconnected now. And here I have installed the spacers and longer screw, and now my shock tower is in the right position. Camber links, getting the right, what do you call it, height off the rear uprights, getting that squared away. And then now we have a new rear end with the camber links installed. They're very high, but everything's in position. And I'm showing you just how easy it is to lean left and to lean right because um, there's no dampers on the rear at all. But it's very easy to lean it left and lean it right now. And there we have it. I cleared the spur gear, so we're moving on to the next. Here, I drilled a hole in the plastic arms so I can get the shock really close to the center. And there goes the makeshift angled and all not perfect shock setup there. Now we're at the warehouse and you can see the rear end is kind of just sagging and slapping the ground. But hey, we got some room there. Got some room for some preload, right? You can see I have shocks installed exactly like how I said before I went into voiceover mode. Ah man, just glad to have good audio going now. And here you can see I changed the springs. And look at that. The springs are better. The springs are much better. Just doing a little tappy taps. How many times do you do that on your car on a daily basis? All right, here's it. We're going to go for the first drive since making the changes. And I know it's not on the right surface, like the same surface as before, but just trust that everything, all the concepts are good. And what we did will make a difference. Reluctantly, I have to cut the video short. I showed you all some things, and indeed, I got video of it. But I really wanted to get a video of the car on the same surface that I showed you it on in the first place after making the changes, but I cannot. My ESC has died. Don't know why. Um, so yeah, what we're going to do now is we're going to call this part one because hey, I gotta give you all this knowledge. Like that's the one thing that is here. Okay, this is my heart. If you guys don't know, but either way, from my heart, I just wanted to share. Like, hey, this is another form of, you know, getting your car to weight shift, but also it just shows like, hey, the concepts are there. Bring stuff in, to more to the center, and then it wants to lean to the left a little easier, or lean to the right a little easier. So yeah, I'm cutting the video short. So till next time, If it's driving again, you know my ESC is back up and running, or I got a new one, I got it replaced. Hey, keep God first. I hope you learned something. I'll catch you on the next video. Peace. All right, so this is a little bonus content here. Someone asked about why my front end or how it lifts up so easily. Well, the first thing is because of how inward the shocks are. Because of that, now the length this travels is the same, but because I'm closer to center, the distance of this arm moving is increased. It's like a math equation here. You go further in, you get more travel. You go further out, you get less travel because this actually travels more in compressing that. Angular distance, I believe that's what it's called. Further out you go, the more you gotta move for the same distance here. So it's fulcrum there. You gotta move that high, way up there to come down there. All right, too much nerding out, whatever. You get the concept. Further in means this moves less across the same stroke as that. This right here, spring will compress really fast. You get a little bit of motion out of your up and down. Now, the other part of this. All right, why is it so dramatic? Josh, why is the dramatic, up and down motion when you drive? How do you achieve that? Well, for starters, you gotta give yourself room, right? So you gotta give yourself actual travel length through the shock, but then you gotta raise this outer link higher because now your resting point is somewhere in here. Because your resting point is somewhere there, as soon as the car starts moving forward, the car wants to kind of get to this level here. Because your springs are so soft, sometimes it'll go there and then as soon as you let off throttle, it'll drop back down. That's also because, look at that, I have all this room for that shock to travel. So it wants to sit in the center. It never wants to be fully down and it never wants to be fully inside. It wants to sit right in the center because of how I have this set up. So the higher you raise this, the more dramatic the front end can be. But of course that means you gotta bring the shocks in more because you need travel. So it's like a 2-for-1. I haven't really tried just raising this without moving these more inward. Pretty sure you can try it and let me know in the comments, but that's pretty much it. You get the floaty feeling, like that front end. You can probably leave it out here and it's less dramatic, but that front end will be as floaty as it can be when you raise up this upper control arm and pretty much just change that resting point. Hope that makes sense. Makes sense to me because I keep doing it, and this is the same thing that happens every single time. Engineers and everybody else can come in the comments and say exactly what's going on, and then we can all be a community together learning exactly what's happening, not just at face value or through experience, but on the theory side as far as like engineering and on paper as well. So yeah, catch you on the next one.